On is stream. Sam, I am. Am I Sam? How was your day?
All right.
God, my KBPS is awful. That might end up being untenable, which would really suck because I really want to stream tonight. But we'll find out the hard way, I guess. Try to imagine everyone in their underwear. Hey, Herman, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I am having some bitrate issues right now, so if the stream's having issues, that's why. Hopefully they take care of themselves in the coming few minutes here. I'm doing good, Herman. Really hoping my bitrate picks up in the next few minutes because right now it is untenably low. I mean, Herman, that's kind of dead after today. There's no way, like that doesn't. It made some small amount of sense before today, but not after what they did today. Now it's just kind of like silly to even talk about, I think. Life is too short to talk about things that are not going to happen. Ever, under any circumstance.
Good day. I can sense a... Very well. Welcome to the Velvet Room.
So, they're trying to say the reason why they won't release the name of the shooters in Missouri is because they're both under the age of 18.
But they're not.
Well, I mean, even ignoring that, you understand the silliness of that
Yes,
statement,
because
right?
Rittenhouse wasn't 18. Sandman wasn't 18. That Kansas City Chiefs fan kid was like 9.
Yeah.
Total bullshit. But the two dimwits who went on the shooting spree were 18 and 22, and it was the classic Boondocks N-word moment. The shit happened. Allegedly, as you know, they've brought up because they said it to law enforcement to excuse why they did it. They got beef because they were staring at each other for too long. So it's just like you notice one guy's looking at you, and then you go, "What, homie? What? What you want? What?" And then out come the pieces, and then you hit literally every single person around you except for the fucking guy you were trying to shoot.
All right.
Fucking unbelievable.
Oh, hello.
Best to stay on your toes here.
Man. Maybe we aren't living in a society.
Do you really think we'll be able to get rid of Tartarus?
We have to. We're the only ones who can.
It's a treasure chest.
There are two targets.
What's my next move?
Scarecrow Bar, that Make-A-Wish kid has to be able to come up with something better than that.
This will do the trick.
I refuse to believe that is the best that that kid can do.
Wait, what Make-A-Wish kid?
Produced.
Someone in chat just asked me, what if a Make-A-Wish kid wanted to meet you? Would you tell him, screw you, Cancer Boy? And I'm just like,
Yes.
the kid's got to be able to do better than that.
Watch out. Your attack power is low.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the organization would even be able to try. Because, I mean, literally, they'd just be like, who? They'd have no idea. They were like, gee, kid, I don't know. How about Hulk Hogan?
How about Martin Shkreli?
Based.
Perfect. Just what we hoped for.
If you could have dinner with any 5 people who have ever existed in history, who would it be? And why would they all be Hulk Hogan and Martin Shkreli?
Enemy spotted. Let's take them
Tremendous.
down.
Hey, Big Country. Alright, so I did not get to stream yesterday because I was preparing for a job interview. So we're just going to be doing Tartarus, but we might be going kind of late tonight.
Hit them where it hurts.
Because I've got to make up for lost time because Rebirth comes out in like a week.
And Bethlehem. The enemy's down. Let's finish this. Like fish in a barrel. There's no escape. Executed. Crushing victory. Perfect.
You know, you just reminded me.
What we hoped for.
A few weeks ago, I randomly got in my recommended video feed on YouTube this video of this kind of old, but not super old lady who had a blog detailing her diagnosis of cancer. And the video that popped up in my recommended was basically the one she uploaded a couple hours before she died, where she was basically talking about how she was going to basically commit suicide. It's, you know, it's legal suicide, right? It's doctor-assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a treasure chest.
But it made me pretty sad. I don't know why it popped up in my recommended, but it did. I don't even know if they have doctor-assisted suicide in America at all.
We have to. Yes.
Obviously, I know they do in Canada because of all the memes, but I don't know if they have it in America at all. They do in Oregon, okay. Is anyone in chat old enough to remember Terry Schiavo?
There's no room.
Does anyone remember that controversy?
might prove to be a difficult fight.
The
I'll
enemy
hit them
was
where it
tough.
hurts. Go for it. Hepatolea.
I'll take care of this.
Good work, Akihiko.
Don't pull any punches.
Now let's finish you.
What's next? In this situation, this is your Kirito-senpai. That was a beautiful dodge.
Oh,
One step at a time. Take it away, Caesar.
That was
Can't
awesome,
slow down now.
senpai.
Everyone, follow my lead.
Now let's finish you.
yeah. I don't know very much about Etika other than the main thing to know about Etika.
The enemy was on a roll.
To me, the interesting one is
Back on her feet.
the Jim Jones tape.
This will do the trick.
Like, that's the one that I keep going back to. The Jim Jones tape is wild.
Detected.
I left a magazine in the lounge, and the next thing I know, it's gone. Someone take it?
I think it was Junpei-kun. He said that the model on the front cover was cute.
Yeah, I've listened to that whole tape many times because I find it really interesting.
Still setting up. It'll take a little more time.
I'll hit them where it hurts. How about this?
The best bet will be
In this situation, wind isn't good on this one. We'll have to try something else.
Well, it's not going anywhere, Scarecrow Bar. Admittedly.
This will do the trick. Too late for you now. One target remaining. Now.
now's your chance.
Like fish in a barrel. It's over. C'est magnifique. pretty tough. I never would have expected a nest of shadows to look like this.
I'm detecting a surge of power. Be careful.
I'm beyond ready.
Vice Media's CEO announced today that they're laying off hundreds. Everyone's getting laid off lately.
The enemy's frozen. Now's your chance.
Good work, Akihiko.
We cannot pass this up.
There's no escape. How's everyone feeling?
So Elon Musk is thinking about creating an email service. Now that Google has exposed itself as being anti-white. So maybe he'll just like take over for Google. Maybe he can create like a search engine, he can create an email service, just create services that mimic what Google does and then present it as the non-woke option.
What next?
You know, I think you're close to what might actually happen because I'm trying to think of the whole it's go broke, get woke, and then croak. Google's been losing money, and this is like some of the wokest shit that they've ever done before. I would not at all be surprised if Google was sitting there like, you know, we who own it right now are kind of just wanting to ride off into the sunset with lots of money, and we don't want to deal with this crap anymore. What if Elon bought Google?
Does he have enough money at this point after all the money he spent on X?
In terms of what Google would actually be worth in a sale, almost certainly no. However, if he was just the majority shareholder and became part of a controlling interest group that would pool resources together to buy it.
Good work, Akihiko.
Could you imagine if he owned Twitter and YouTube and Google?
At that point, just build a gigantic tower and go to the top of it and use a magnifying glass to set people on fire from high above. And nobody in chat's going to get that reference.
As of February of this month, Google is estimated having a market cap of $1.8 trillion.
So only the Rothschilds would have a chance single-handedly.
Essentially. But at the same time, I'm reasonably sure it's also a public company because there is no defined owner for Google. Because there's no one related to ownership of Google in like the top 10 richest people.
One-way teleporter.
Right.
But there's no need to head back yet.
As if, matter of fact, let me check.
A shadow.
Yeah, Amazon has a market cap of 1.8 trillion, but a little bit more, 1.813 trillion.
Shall I move?
Makes Amazon the world's fifth most valuable company. Google was the sixth most valuable. But remember that Jeff Bezos, who does own Amazon, is less rich than Elon.
Right.
So Elon's richer than Bezos, but Bezos has a more has a company with a larger market cap than Google. So theoretically, it could be possible.
I have to do this.
If Elon just turns America into his own personal fiefdom.
That sounds like it'd be neat. I don't like the premise of it insofar as Elon may be someone who came to the U.S., but he's not from here. And that shows a lot in some of his political opinions. You know, he's got a lot of
You'll have to try something else.
lefty ideals that I'm not overly a fan of. However, you know, he does draw a line in the sand for certain things that are very important, like freedom of speech, which is what led to the whole Twitter thing. So we could do worse, but like, if America went out and had a king, I could think of a number of people I prefer over Elon. However, if I had to choose between Elon or the current people who are already in charge, Elon all the way.
A rare enemy. It'd be great if we can defeat
Shall
it.
I move to strike? Persona!
Here we go. I have knocked out 2 enemies. This should be a good test of your strength. But don't get careless.
Go for it! Escalate!
Fiefdom rhymes with beefdom, so it's fiefdom? That's a stupid
Yes.
sounding word. Fiefdom. I don't like it.
Yeah. Beef rhymes with thief.
Do this. I think I can use it now.
Now you've got me curious. What is the origin of thief? It comes from an old French word, fief, which is derived from the Latin vivum, which is a variant of feudum, which is where feudalism comes from.
Now's the time.
Which makes sense because in medieval times, the French were basically the supreme power of the earth in a lot of ways.
There's a treasure chest.
I'm still setting up. It'll take a little more time.
This will do the trick. Head this the ladder.
I'm still setting up. It'll take a little more time.
Teamwork, everyone.
Hey, there's a treasure chest.
We found the stairs.
So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which comes out next week, they've already leaked a scene that features the female cast in very, very revealing clothing in a scene clearly designed to be fan service.
I like how the bell sounds in an empty
And I
club
gotta
room.
say, after playing all these Americanized games that absolutely refuse to do things like it, it sure is nice to go back to these Japanese games that actually do that stuff without apologies.
Yeah. For a minute there in my head, because I just looked at a Twitter thing that was talking about the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender thing. It melded with what you were talking about, fan service, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
I'll show you.
Oh, look, aren't those girls 14? Hold on a second.
I mean, it beats the hell out of Spider-Man 2, making Mary Jane look like Jay Leno.
One step at a time.
I know that much.
Seriously. But it's really weird in that live action Avatar that how many of the characters are fat. It's like, do they find all the fat Asians in the world for this fucking role? What the hell happened? But yeah, it is really not being well received. Folks are not fond of it at all, which, I mean, we all saw that shit come from a mile away. The last time they tried live action Avatar, it didn't do too well. And Netflix, on the whole, doesn't have a good track record with shit, so.
You do
That
not
was
truly,
obvious.
You'll never know true power unless you taste the testicles of a man that's wronged you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready.
But, I'm not even excited for it. Turns out the guys that made Avatar are gonna make an Avatar movie, which is just gonna be some adventures of them as adults. Which is what people have been asking for ever since they thought up the idea to do Legend of Korra. But I'm like, hey, as somebody who watched every episode of Legend of Korra, I'm not exactly excited about these fucking hacks taking another crack at the thing that was actually good. Okay, there's no way that it's gonna end up being
Yeah.
good.
Most
'cause,
people I know say Legend of Korra was a big letdown.
It absolutely was. Like, there are a million different reasons why it was a huge letdown, but one of the biggest reasons is that Nickelodeon was constantly at odds with the writers. So the writers did a large amount of things specifically to try to piss off Nickelodeon, not because it made sense or because they wanted it that way, but it was just to piss off the company. And one of that is by making Korra gay, so then she become an LGBT icon animated character. So by doing that, they ensure that there will be retards who will defend their work forever, regardless of how it wasn't good. But they did that specifically to piss off Nickelodeon because Nickelodeon was the children's network. And they're like, haha, surprise, our character's gay. There's a reason they revealed that in the final episode of the series, even though the entire show up to that point she'd been straight, was because they were literally just throwing up the middle finger to Nickelodeon on their way out.
Nickelodeon executive walks into a bar and orders a drink. The bartender says, "You look like you've had a rough day." And the Nickelodeon executive says, "I just found out the main character of my most popular show is gay."
You're laughing. They've ruined the legacy of one of the greatest animated series of all time, and you're laughing.
That certainly went well.
You're laughing.
What should we do about the door?
The Flood are about to breach Earth's atmosphere and you're laughing.
Now what?
I gotta say, I really don't understand people who think the Clippers are gonna go anywhere. Cause like Kawhi's a winner, yes, but they're coached by Ty Lue. Coaching really does matter when you get deep into the playoffs, and Ty Lue is an empty suit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tough to see that working out given that.
Especially going up against the Nuggets, Mike Malone's gonna coach circles around the guy. Like between that and the fact that the Clippers have nobody who can even hope to fucking stop or even slow Jokic down, like you're done. That being said, though, the Clippers could easily make the Western Conference Finals because the West this year is the weakest. Shit. It's the weakest it's been in a very long time. Very long time.
I'll hit them where it hurts.
So I would not at all be surprised if some of these teams just folded because, you know, obviously the Timberwolves and the Thunder are both looking really good by record, but they're very young teams. And I feel like it's almost a guarantee that they will just flame out in the playoffs because they just don't have playoff experience yet. They'll get there, but now's not the time.
I have to do this.
Never mind.
Hear me. Please help them.
Bro, fucking, I don't know what the hell Sheed was thinking here. There's no way that he's actually a fan. Sheed is wearing a Kansas City Super Bowl champs hat. Maybe he
Oh.
lost a bet or something.
I saw that and I was like, what? I didn't know what to think of it.
There's no way. There's no way.
You dodged it. That's our leader. I see. So this is what we're up against.
Now. Here we come.
It's weak to slashing. Swords will deal massive damage.
Let's
Not
keep this
above
momentum
desert.
up.
No shadows detected.
Yep, Matter Rays is back. Matter Rays is back in our lives, people.
I'm glad he's on the Chiefs
Oh, hello.
because he'll get a ring now. Buffalo obviously wasn't going to do nothing with him, and they don't deserve him. If they cut him over allegations that there was zero fucking proof of, if they cut him over that, then they don't deserve him.
Yeah, and if they had Matter Reza in the Super Bowl this year, they would have won in regulation.
That's a good point. Because they would have scored 18,000 points just from that.
Matter Reza. This is my favorite store in the Citadel.
I still couldn't fucking believe that shit. That was insane. You'll love to see it.
A shadow.
Yes, we got the advantage. Shall I move to strike? Go for it. Professor Letta.
Matareza got 0 scholarship offers from Power 5 schools, but Matareza was never one to take no for an answer.
Now that's based.
God, the screen looks so bad. I'm barely getting 1600 kbps. So bad.
Uh-oh.
Can I do that?
Basically.
Perfect. Just what we hoped for. All right, let's continue exploring.
Enemy spotted.
We caught them by surprise. They don't seem very strong.
This will do the trick. Persona!
The enemy's frozen. Now's your chance.
You're done.
Good work, Akihiko.
Everyone, follow my lead. Put you down. This is over. That certainly went well.
We could head back, but it's your call.
A shadow. What will you do?
Hit 'em hard and
Enemies,
fast.
and we've got the advantage. Don't hold anything back. Looks like the enemy's weak to light.
Good work,
Sonata-senpai
Akihiko.
knocked an enemy down. Sonata-senpai knocked an enemy down.
I'm ready.
It's all you.
Got it. What to do?
The enemy lines are broken.
I just bankrupted a video game studio with my freaking mind.
Tremendous. I saw this one. It's absolutely disgusting.
No.
But what's
pic-
even more,
Excellent leadership.
yeah, for real. But what's even more disgusting about it to me is just the actual thought process of like, there are people who even try to have sex with that thing. What the fuck? I really just don't get it.
Hey, if you try to have sex with something like that, no one can ever call you a transphobe again, no matter what. It's kind of like how voting for Obama was a ticket that meant that you could never be called a racist again. It was like
You're
a
right.
get out of jail free card for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Didn't even last 1 year, but Jesus.
3 targets. They won't know it hit them.
This will do the trick. move to strike.
This should be a
Let's see here.
careless.
I'll hit them where it hurts. I'll show you. Good work,
Senpai
Akihiko.
knocked an enemy down. Sonata Senpai knocked an enemy down.
Leave it to me. It's all you. Leave it to me. Now's the time. Support Persona. Here.
This should be a good test of your strength.
What to do?
Don't get careless.
Here we go. We found it. I think. Yes, we found it.
That's a win for the team. Good job, everyone.
All right, let's get moving.
Three targets. They won't know it hit them.
I'll hit them where it hurts.
Who's gonna win this? Let's do it!
Good work,
Sonata Senpai
Akihiko.
knocked down two with that attack.
You take this one.
The enemy lines are broken. Now's your
Okay, for some reason, John Cena's X account has a link to an OnlyFans in the profile. What?
There's no way.
I'm just the messenger.
Oh, it's a marketing gimmick.
Keep up the good work.
Or let me check out what this is. There's a new movie coming up that he's in, which is almost certain to be dog shit.
Okay.
Called Ricky Stenicki,
Found the stairs. Wanna head up?
and his character, Ricky Stenicki, has an OnlyFans page. So they made a real one as the marketing
Oh.
gimmick for that thing. That's
that-
why the link's there.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
A shadow.
Yes, it will be terrible. The headliner is Zac Efron.
All right, let's do this.
I don't mind Zac Efron, but it still sounds like a bad movie.
In current year.
Let's change that.
I'll go with it.
Let's do the same thing for our next.
God. Yeah, it has a bunch of other wrestlers in the movie, in the cast,
Oh, it's like the modern day Predator, except
and it's also bringing in William H Macy for some reason.
William H Macy's cool.
Yeah, he's great, but he hasn't exactly been in very many good films in this part of his career.
All right. Be right back, guys. I need to take a short break. I am back.
Sonata knocked an enemy down! I've already scanned this one.
That was awesome, Sonata-senpai!
Let's get in there. Everyone, follow my lead. Knockout blow. This is over.
All right.
Doing pretty well.
That chest doesn't look like the others.
There's a chest. Wanna try opening? Shadow up ahead.
4 enemies, and we've got the advantage. Don't hold anything back.
I'm at full power.
Oh wow. So apparently
Huh.
the website Vice.com is just straight up shutting down completely. Like
Say again?
content, well, Vice.com is just shutting down, as in they won't publish content anymore.
Yes.
You know,
It was a
that's the-
glorious day.
Yeah, man, Vice was created by Gavin McInnes. It's unbelievable what it became, man. It's crazy.
I'm still setting up.
Mhm.
It'll take a long time.
They ran Gavin's creation into the ground. They massacred my boy.
The enemy lines are broken. Now's your chance.
I'll be right back.
Good teamwork, everyone. Now on to the next.
Hmm?
There's a shadow.
Yes, we got the advantage!
Good work. Enemy down. Sonata-senpai
Trump just voiced his strong support for American homeschooling families and proposed a tax credit for 10K per child being homeschooled. Yeah, Austin, I saw that we won. I saw it on my phone. I didn't watch the game, but
Good teamwork, everyone. Now on to the next.
It seems like we've checked everything.
how many games are left in the regular season anyway?
Leader,
Yeah, there are a lot of games left, actually.
Good day. I can sense a present. Are you accepting a request? Very well. Welcome to the Velvet Room. Registering is overriding, except I've completed registration. Very well. We look forward to your next visit.
all right.
Another day on
targets.
the job.
They're weak, but don't be careless.
What's the plan here? And this away!
Delivery just for you.
In this situation,
They won't lose.
Sonata Senpai's been knocked down. Are you okay? Goodness. have to try something else.
Oh, do I not have any fist? Wow. How the hell did I let that happen?
Stand on this enemy?
Ooh, dark.
Am I up? It's on you. I'm on it. This work. Get him. We can't go down there. We cannot pass this up.
I'm ready. How about trick?
The best bet would be
That helps.
Focus.
Excellent.
Get ready.
My persona has a new power.
yes.
Man, seems crazy to think about the Tampa Bay Lightning.
My head and swing my fists at the opponent.
It's kind of the same
Missing the
thing,
playoffs.
archery. You'll never hit your target if you think too much about it.
To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of theoretical physics, the jokes will go over the typical viewer's head. Wubba lubba dub dub.
You know, you bring up an interesting point, Joker. In all this Starship Trooper discourse, nobody brought up the fact that the Federation makes sense if you just watch Rick and Morty.
Acceptable? I've completed this section. Are you finished? We look forward.
If they ever made a sequel to Starship Troopers, what could it be about? Like, what would happen in it?
They did make 2 sequels, and they were both awful.
Really? I did not know this.
Because the idea coming from Robert Heinlein's book is one thing,
Keep going.
and Paul Verhoeven didn't read a ton of the book. He just created a universe,
What should we do?
and
Hey, have you?
then the sequels were like, okay, well, what if we made more movies in that line? The second movie was like a horror film. It was really, really bad. And then the third movie was they wanted to try to make it campy, like Adam West Batman campy, and it was just
Seems like a really bad idea.
oof. Yeah, it was dreadful. Man.
Good work, Akihiko.
I was reading something earlier. I guess apparently they might be working on a sequel to Galaxy Quest, even though Alan Rickman's dead now.
Yuji, think I can use it now.
It's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if they wanted to make another Die Hard movie, except Bruce Willis can't be in it because of the dementia, and they were like, "Oh yeah, and we wanted to say that Hans Gruber, he's actually still alive, but Alan Rickman's dead." Like, God, it'd be awful.
Pull the trigger.
They just need to let some things be.
What to do?
Too bad, because Galaxy Quest was originally just a very moderate hit, and it was only years later when it became like a classic. But that doesn't mean you should try to make another one and just assume it's going to work. Okay, I'm sending you a tweet. Check that out when you get a second.
Salut. There's a shadow.
Has to go first. Two enemies. You can take them.
You've probably already seen that one, but
What the hell was that?
I feel like he was trying to inbound the ball to himself and then realized halfway through that that's actually illegal. But I don't know.
What the fuck? Like, wow. That's pretty
Keep up the good.
that's pretty bad, man.
Oh, there's a treasure chest. Orange has to go first. Two enemies. You can take them.
I'll take care of this. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Persona.
Ooh, nice.
This is like fish in a barrel. stagnation.
That certainly went well. There's a shadow.
Prepare yourself. Sonata Senpai knocked an enemy down.
Good work,
Sonata Senpai
Akihiko.
knocked an enemy down.
That was awesome, Sonata Senpai.
We cannot pass this up.
There's no restraint.
Knockout blow. This is over.
Let's do the same thing for our next fight. Is that treasure?
All right, let's do this.
Enemy soon. I'm still setting up. It'll take a little more time.
I'm ready. How about this?
Eureka, Senpai, that was amazing!
Like fish in a barrel. Out of my sight.
The metaphor, Morty. I mean, they're bureaucrats. I don't respect them. Rest in piss, you won't be missed. Okay, I found this post to be extremely hilarious.
C'est magnifique.
Big Country, did Wazoo win? Or is the game not over yet?
Doing pretty well.
A shadow. What will you do?
Our chance to go first. Two enemies. You can take them.
Good work,
Sonata Senpai
Akihiko.
knocked an enemy down.
You're up, leader.
Wow. Alright, good for them. Ray Allen is going to hit 7 3-pointers, and I'm not even going to try to calculate how many points that is.
This is the weirdest damn thing. Like, I've never had this happen before. It's level 1 for Deep Rock, level 1 out of 5. And I think the boss might have spawned in an area where it's like stuck and it can't get to me or some shit. Because I have no idea where the hell it is. And these things are time based, so they'll just keep infinitely spawning in enemies. that
Huh.
gets stronger and faster and stronger and faster. And I'm like, I don't know where the hell it is.
That is a thing
Like,
that
this is-
happens in games sometimes.
I'm like, I don't know where the fuck it is. Like, this is insane to me.
We have the advantage. Looks like the enemy's weak to light. How about this?
But the funny thing is, I keep getting XP from the enemies, and I'm in like a safe zone. I've actually set up like a choke point kill box, and I just keep getting stronger too because I keep leveling up.
So you
This is
literally
really
might
funny.
be breaking the game.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen here, but I'm down to fucking find out, man. Let me tell you.
That was excellent leadership. Keep up the good work.
Not anymore, big country. Not after tonight.
Oh, I'm so strong. What the fuck?
This will be a fight worth our while.
It's like in big rigs over the road racing when you just hold the gas pedal down the whole time.
You're going down. Now you die.
Oh my god, they're so fast. Oh my god, they're so fast. I got chased out of where I was at. Holy fuck, they're so fast. I can't.
I'm ready.
Where is it? Where's the boss? Oh, it raises exponentially the speed with which they start upgrading them. Now they get upgraded every second. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was actually stuck. Oh my god. There were 300 things with it. I can't move.
Never mind. What to do?
It's like fun.
Not that. No. I'll go with. Not that.
I'm still setting up
That was hysterical.
one more time.
I didn't know that the boss could spawn in an area like that. It actually spawned trapped and it couldn't dig through the rock on its own. There's only one enemy type that can't dig through the rock on its own. Oh
The
man, that
Yeah, big country. The bit rate is still crap. It's like 2,000 kbps. I think it's supposed to be like 6,000, but this just happens sometimes, and I don't know what I can do about it. Like, I think I just have to deal with it.
yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, it's at like 1,500 right now.
Now let's finish them all. Don't pull any punches.
It's really annoying. And again, I can't even imagine what the problem is because it's not like my upload speed's bad. My upload speed is totally fine.
Keep fighting. For him.
I think it's my internet. Really good at them.
Excellent. Look.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Doc Rivers says that he told LeBron that he knew Kobe was going to have an 81-point game.
Again?
You've seen all these Doc Rivers shit posts over the last couple days?
Yeah, like Doc Rivers says he tried to warn the dinosaurs that the meteor was coming, but
Yeah, Doc Rivers says he warned Rob Stark about Lord Walder Frey.
oh no. Jesus. Like, Doc is so insanely full of shit. It's really weird because, like, we're not even at the playoffs yet, but it genuinely feels like Milwaukee's already been eliminated, you know? Like, they've already just given up as a team.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I really feel this. I really feel this. I think that Brooke and Chris Middleton wanted to leave after Budenholzer got fired. They were going to leave in free agency because it took them a long time to re-up. Like, they did it the last second. And they did it the last second because management came and told them, they said, look, we're in talks with the Trailblazers right now. We're working on trading for Damian Lillard. Everybody had them penciled in to, at the very least, make the ECF, possibly win a championship.
Right.
So I think they re-upped because of that, because it seemed like, oh, well, this is a slam dunk. But now, I feel like both of them regret it. And if they could do it over again, knowing what they know now, I think both of them would leave.
You struck a weakness.
Especially Brooke, who has been pissed off the entire season. Like, he is furious so often. Every time there's a defensive breakdown, which is almost always Lillard's fault, he is just fucking fuming. It was especially bad right after they fired Griffin. He was super pissed.
I have to do this.
Terrible body language on that team, man.
What to do?
Now you've done it. I'm ready. Let's go. Take that. One last touch. Good.
Not above
We've
surface.
won.
No shadows detected.
How much is Doc Rivers getting paid this year, I wonder? I wonder if they gave him a bag or if he's just, like, getting paid, like, some cursory amount.
Please consider coming back to the entrance.
If El Dorado were ever real, perhaps it would look like this.
Well, the Sixers should still be paying him. So the Sixers is still paying him 16, and the contract he signed with the Bucks is paying him a total of 40.
Oh, really? Okay.
So Doc's getting paid 8 from Philly this year, and I don't know if that's a 4 or 5 year deal. Let me check. Well, that's a 3 year deal. That's even more wild. What would 40 divided by 3?
Let's do this.
So he's getting paid $8 million this year from the Sixers, this year and next year, and his contract with Milwaukee is $40 million 3 seasons. So he makes $13.3 million per. So in total, Doc Rivers is being paid over $21 million.
This will do the trick.
which, and this is extremely insulting, actually has him making the most amount of money per year of any coach in the league. Not because he signed that kind of a contract, but because between the Sixers contract that they're still on the hook for, that they need to pay him for, and the new contract with the Bucks he's making. Bo is making 15 mil per, Popovich is making 16 mil per, and Doc is making 21 mil per for the next 2 seasons.
Wild.
Because the Sixers is still on the hook. So, without question, a bottom 5 coach is making $5 million more than the most paid coach, who's also one of the most respected coaches of all time. Like, the fucking insanity. The Bucks should be ashamed of themselves, and they deserve everything that's going to happen to them this season. Like, holy shit.
Shall I move to strike?
Like, that is just fucking bad.
Brutal.
Something else.
See, here's what's even crazier, is that even without counting what the Sixers owe him, just looking at the contract that Milwaukee signed. Just looking at the contract that Milwaukee signed, Doc is already the 3rd highest paid coach in the league, ahead of Monty Williams. He's getting paid more than Monty Williams, Steve Kerr, Rick Carlisle, Michael Malone. The only 2 coaches that are making more from the team that they currently coach is Pop and Spo, and he's still making more than them because Philly still owes him. What the fuck was Milwaukee thinking?
The time is right.
And it just makes this whole thing even worse now. Because you gotta think about it. They paid that guy that kind of bag. This is still recent. Like, the hiring's only a month old. And yet, in spite of throwing all that money at him, he's still coming out and fucking saying all this crazy shit about the ownership and the team. Swear to God, nothing about this guy makes any sense to me.
I'm ready. Go for it. Professor Leia.
I don't know how he keeps getting work. I don't know how he fucking managed that kind of fucking deal.
Pull the trigger.
It's bad.
That helps.
Appreciate it.
Sonata Senpai's looking intense. Looks like fire will work great.
Yeah, Doc Rivers and Jeff Fisher actually have a little decent amount in common. That's not a bad comp. Also a decent comp might be Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka rode the success of his defensive coordinator to 1 Super Bowl, and other than that, didn't do all that much.
You know, the Mike Ditka comparison is actually pretty good because Mike Ditka famously shit his pants live on television. Now, he did that during the whole commentary thing with the sports media talking heads, but Doc does that literally every time he's coaching a playoff series.
In this situation,
Because, like, Mike Ditka doesn't win anything without Buddy Ryan, and Doc Rivers doesn't win anything without Tom Thibodeau. Mike Ditka versus his pants. Somehow he didn't get fired for that, but he got fired when he called Obama the worst president in U.S. history.
Which at the time was accurate.
In hindsight, should have just done more of that.
I can handle it.
Show us how it's
I
done.
won't disappoint you. Shall I move to strike? Persona!
No, Senpai, that was amazing.
I'll slice you to pieces.
Do you think Budenholzer wanted to just retire to take a year off? And the Bucks fired him out of courtesy, so like they still have to pay him?
Did you say that again? I didn't hear.
Oh.
It wasn't anything on your fault. As I'm playing through this right now, I just got a very loud voice message that I can't pause or stop at the same time you started talking.
Okay. No, what I was saying was, what if Bud wanted to retire to take a year off,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bucks said, we'll just fire you, so that way you still get paid? Do you think that was any kind of a factor?
That would have been very kind of them. However, I think they would have said if that was the thing, because that really damaged their reputation. Because they fired him a couple of days after his brother was tragically killed. And while the league might fine them for doing something like that, it would be a meaningless fine.
Yeah.
That certainly went well.
Like, what if he says, I want to take the year off to grieve my dying brother, so I'm just going to retire, and they're like, yeah, we'll fire you so that way you can collect your contract anyway.
Yeah, that certainly would have been very, very kind of them. But if they had done that, I feel like they would have said it so that people didn't give them shit. Because that was like one of the biggest scumbag moments in sports, man. That was pretty bad.
I don't know if Jody's cheap anymore, Santi. We won a bidding war for Mike McDonald with the Commanders. So maybe she's not cheap with the Seahawks. I'll say that much.
Good work. Akihiko.
Feeling pretty good.
You know what? The Jeff Fisher comparison actually makes me wonder something.
I just DM'd you something, by the way, when you get a second.
I'll check it out now. I saw that earlier today. I like that post. Very nice.
Santi, maybe you should hire David Fizdale.
That's a win for the team. Good job, everyone.
Okay, what I looked up was because Jeff Fisher famously has the record. He's tied with Belichick right now. I think. But Jeff Fisher has the record for the most losses of a head coach in NFL history. And it made me wonder if Doc Rivers had that honor also. Right now, the record for the most losses for a head coach in NBA history, Lenny Wilkens, who did, however, have a 53.6% win percentage as a coach. Doc's a ways down there, so it's a little unfortunate that we can't meme about that, but yeah.
Well, he's on too many good teams to ever get that high up that list.
Yeah. However, for comparison, because of exactly what you brought up, Greg Popovich, who has substantially more total games coached, has less losses than Doc Rivers, while also having almost 400 more wins.
Let's hear the
I buy it.
But yeah, Popovich actually had more career losses than Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers coming back to coach the Bucks actually fucked him on that, and he's ahead of Popovich now in the all-time losses. Hilarious.
I can set.
What's really amusing is that everybody had Milwaukee penciled in for an ECF appearance before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
And if they actually do manage to do it this season, it'll be the first time Doc's made the Eastern Conference Finals, or just any conference finals in general, since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
With the famous LeBron deviled egg game. That was the last time Doc Rivers has even seen the third round.
Are you finished? We look.
Oh, he's been close plenty of times, but that famously is why everyone makes fun of him. Oh my god, I almost died off of that. That was really stupid. Whew. Gosh diddly damn it.
one target. This'll be no problem at all.
Yeah, I mean, Austin, the Heat don't care what seed they are at all. They just want to get in. Like, they don't have a superstar-laden roster that can afford to go for, like, 60 wins or whatever, so they just get in and figure it out there. I don't even know how much seeding matters in the modern NBA. Feels like some of these...
Not at all. The thing with Miami is that this is something that Spo specifically does. He knows that injuries will happen, and he's extremely wise for doing this. Because he knows injuries are going to happen, he uses the regular season as an opportunity to experiment with lineups. Because he's like, okay, let's say that Hero's injured yet again, like he was last fucking 4 fucking playoffs in a row. If he's hurt, what lineups can we use? And then he says, okay, now what if Jimmy gets hurt? Okay, now what if Bam gets hurt? Okay, now what if, whoever else gets hurt? So that way he has a wealth of footage that he can go back and watch, so that when he's in a playoff series, he can look at game film and say, okay, this lineup worked really well against a dominant center, but it was absolute dog shit against a dominant wing. So, if we play the Nuggets in the finals again, this lineup would be really good for us, but we probably shouldn't use it against the Bucks because Giannis would just fucking obliterate us. But yeah, seeding doesn't mean anything. Because if you have the confidence that you can win against other high-seeded teams in the Eastern Conference Finals, what the hell's the difference between playing them then and playing them in the first round? Usually you're going to be stronger because it's before people getting hurt. Like the Heat were way stronger in the first round than they were by the finals because there were less injuries in
Yeah.
the first round. We may not have beaten that exact same Bucks team if we faced them in the ECF. If Jimmy still gets intentionally injured by Josh Hart in the next series.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Now, as for what's going to happen this season, I really don't know, but I'm just going to say I've got faith in Spo.
Yeah. He's not going to get you there every year, but he'll get you there enough, and he'll probably do everything that within his power to make it happen. So,
I mean, to be completely fair, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Jimmy lost the series in 2022. However, he did take a potential game winner and he missed it. That's fine. You can't hit them all.
Right.
I'm not going to look negatively on him for that. But if he did hit it, then the Heat would have made the finals 3 times in the last 4 years. The sad thing is that 2022, that actually was our best shot to actually win the championship because it was the Warriors' last gasp,
We don't
and
see that
the
kind of talent.
Celtics just had no answer for the Warriors at all because they had an incompetent hack as a coach,
Thank you.
and he was incapable of adjusting. And we see that the season after, and we see that this season also. He was a fraud. So, Bo, as an actual good coach, would have coached circles around Steve Kerr. And Trey, by that point, was already washed. Clay was damn near about to be washed. The only reason that they managed to get it going is because Wiggins played half decent for once, and Curry had a vintage performance. But Curry with a vintage performance isn't going to beat a team that's actually playing adequate defense. Not 2 years ago, anyway.
Good day.
well, remember.
So I think we'd have fucking won it if we went that year. But
Yeah. I mean, it is worth pointing
You
out
know.
that Jordan Poole played really well in those finals, too. That was before he forgot how to
Very well.
do anything.
yes, but at the same time, I do want to say a lot of that was just insane luck, and we know that now because of the way that he's fucking played in Washington.
Register. Will you register it to the computer? All registered. Are you finished? We look.
Anyway, the moral of the story is
Austin, he went
we'd have
to
won.
Austin, he went to Houston. He's the Rockets coach, Austin. Hey, Regga.
Yeah.
At Udoka. I remember when Udoka was a player. Still weird to me he's a coach now.
Oh, I thought you meant player as in ladies man, because I was like, yeah, isn't that why he got fired? That is so weird that they fired him for that, man. Like, I still don't get that.
Oh, there's a treasure chest.
And I timed that pretty fucking good.
Seem very strong.
Shall I move to strike? How about
Focus. This should be a good test of your strength. Don't get careless. All enemies defeated. Good work out there.
Yeah, Houston's headed in the right direction, but they've collapsed at the they were kind of in the play-in hunt for a little bit there, like the Jazz, and now both teams are just kind of out of it. Like the Jazz are 2.5 back, and I think the Rockets are 3 games back.
Yeah, the Rockets are toast. They need to see if anyone in the league would actually trade for Dylan Brooks, and then get rid of him because he's a super cancer, and he's super fucking overrated, and he prides himself on being this generation's dirtiest player. And there is no reason to ever pride yourself on being the dirty player. Like, that's nuts.
They need to. Unfortunately, it looks like the Lakers and Warriors are both going to make the play-in. I thought maybe there was a small chance both would miss. Now it seems like impossible for them to not both make it.
Yeah. However, to be fair, we can say that a large amount of that is fuckery. Like, I mean, come on, the league's not going to let that happen.
What to do?
Oh my god.
Be right back, guys.